I'm Julie Dwell, and you're watching Spotlight on Sparks. From the census to elections, there's so much going on. My first guest is City Clerk Lisa Hunderman, and we just passed an ordinance at our last City Council meeting concerning the elections. What does that mean for City of Sparks?
So the ordinance that Council adopted concerning municipal elections is required by Nevada Revised Statute and the Sparks City Charter.
So why is this ordinance important?
The ordinance is important, Julie, because it identifies the key election dates. It identifies the municipal offices that are seeking candidates. It sets the filing fees for candidacy declaration, and it acknowledges the interlocal agreement that Council approved at our last meeting authorizing Washoe County to conduct the election.
So Washoe County does conduct our elections, and so what does that mean for the City of Sparks? How does that help us?
Well, by authorizing Washoe County to conduct the election, the city reduces the cost of operating the polls. It's not cost effective for us to fully staff polling locations, to acquire voting machines, to mail and print ballots. Washoe County is required to have the election anyways, and so by creating an agreement with them to allow them to conduct our elections, it saves the city money.
Just more efficient in general, it sounds like, too. What is the current cost for filing?
The filing fee for all municipal offices is $30.
And then what elections are being held in the City of Sparks?
So we currently have actually quite a few. We have municipal court judge in Department 1, the city attorney, and then council seats for wards 1, 3, and 5.
And so with those, is there certain dates that they can come in and file, or how do they file?
Absolutely. Filing is done directly with the city clerk's office at 431 Prater Way at Sparks City Hall. And the filing dates for municipal offices for the judge has already passed. However, the city attorney and wards 1, 3, and 5 are March 2nd through the 13th.
So people can just come in to the city clerk's office and file, and how long does it take them usually, or is it a big...
About 15 to 20 minutes. We'll provide them with the paperwork or a filing packet, and then once that's all filled out, we just verify everything, put our signature on there to authorize it, they make their payment, and they're good to go.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I think it's really important that people really know what's going on with the election. So
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being here. My next guests are Tracy Dominguez and Shauna Nelson with our Parks and Recreation Department, and we had some pretty cool news that we got a grant from the Nell J. Redfield Foundation for just over $16,000. What will we be using that for?
Yes, we are so thankful to the Nell J. Redfield Foundation. They have been giving us funds for annually now since about 2009. So the funds are for the continuation of our program, which is called Leisure Without Limits, and that is specifically for people with disabilities.
Well, can you tell me a little bit more about the Leisure Without Limits program?
We have several programs that we do for people with disabilities throughout the year. Different types of weekly activities. We have an art class weekly, we have a bowling program weekly, and then seasonally we also do bocce, different physical activities. We do an annual event, the Mark Wellman Adventure Day, which is an opportunity for people with disability to go out and do different activities at the marina, rock climbing, cycling, kayaking. And we have seasonal dances, which is probably the most popular of the activities we do for that population. We do a Christmas dance and a Halloween dance every year, and they're huge, and we get really good participation, and they have a great time. So.
Oh my goodness, all those sound so great. So the funds that we get from the Nell J. Redfield Foundation, that really helps to pay for some of those programs?
Entirely. It
Yeah.
pays entirely for those programs,
Oh,
yes.
wow.
And so we've been very fortunate. We can actually put on some pretty nice events, at no cost. So, for example, Adventure Day is zero cost to the participants. We use the funds to support the folks that come and help us provide the activities for the participants, but the participants can do whatever they would like for free. We provide snacks and things like that, and same thing with our dances. We have food, and we're able to pay for a photographer, for example, at the dance out of that funds, which is huge. Those folks love to take that memory home with them.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
it
It just sounds like all these programs are so great. And I know, Tracy, I've been to the Mark Wellman event a couple of times, and it's just my favorite event that we do. Can you just maybe touch on that a little bit more?
Sure. Mark Wellman was an avid outdoorsman. He still is, and he was injured and is a paraplegic from rock climbing in Yosemite. And so I personally knew him, and we reached out to him and thought, what a great name, because now he's a motivational speaker as well. So we thought, what a great way to create this program, Mark Wellman Adventure Day, and he was willing to put his name on it, and he actually attends every year with the rock climbing wall and gets people up the wall that they never thought they could do.
It's so heartwarming, because I was there this past year, and there was a grandma with her daughter, and they were. Her daughter was, or granddaughter, I guess, was climbing up, and it was just really neat. And she really was talking about how important this was for our area and that. So I really like that. Is there anything else that you want to talk about with this this great money that we got in this grant?
I just like to say thank you again, and we can't do this without the support. Our staff and the participants truly benefit from offering this type of programming.
And it's been several years. We're very fortunate that we've had this relationship with the Nell J. Redfield Foundation since about 2009. So it's been a long time.
It's unique, and it's very, very special for us. So thank you. How can people find out when some of these events are? Can they go to our website, or?
They can, and I believe that you help us post it on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
So yes, and any previous participants, we also do direct contact with those folks. But this year, the Mark Wellman Adventure Day is on Sunday, June 7th from 10 to 2 at the Marina.
Great. Thanks you. And it's free, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. My next guests are Councilman Christopher Dare and Michael Moreno from the RTC, who is the chair of the Washoe County Complete Count Committee for the census. So the census is coming up. It's really important. Why is it important?
Well, I'll jump in on that question. It's crucial for a few reasons. One, obviously when it comes to finances, we'll use this information to make decisions for a long time, for the next 10 years. And so that makes a big difference when it comes to federal money and what comes back to our community and to our state. But it's also important for representation when it comes to who gets to represent us, how much representation do we get. And then it's also important because you live here. And who doesn't want to be counted? So to me, I just say, because you're a human being, and we should walk in the room and say, 1, 2, oh, wait a minute, you don't count. We don't do that. So I'd say that that's crucial as well. I don't know, what do you think?
You know, in addition to your points, Councilman, I think it's very important for everybody to know that every man, woman, and child does need to be counted, because that, for every person that is counted in the state of Nevada, we will receive approximately $20,000 for programs, roads, education, healthcare, right here in Washoe County and throughout the state of Nevada.
And like with that too, it's really important that you get it, because it's far-reaching. Some people might say, well, it's for this demographic or that. This affects everybody.
We were at a meeting the other day, and I think what hit me the most was there was 5 people in the front row of this meeting, and you said, if you only count 4 of them, that's $20,000 that's gone. So I think it's really important to know how important it is to count every single person.
And we're not just talking, thousands of dollars or even millions. We're talking billions of dollars for the state of Nevada.
And what is that money used for, really?
Well, the money does come back to all kinds of things. They make decisions for roads. That's a big one for federal funding, for education. When it comes back to some of our most vulnerable populations, that does help, but it's not just for that. I mean, we do get some different HUD money come out of that and stuff like that, but it really does at large hit every aspect, even how we plan for economic development, as we make housing decisions. Each of those things matter, and so when somebody decides not to be counted, it really does take effect.
We all use the roads. We all want a strong education system. Hospitals. Nevada is growing tremendously, and so it's that much more important to be sure that we count as everyone during this 2020 census so that we can get our fair share of federal dollars right back into our communities.
And really, public safety as well. We may have mentioned that, I'm not sure, but that's important as well. So
definitely comes to fire safety. There's some different grant stuff that comes out of it. But it is interesting when it comes to the finances too. is it's not like just a race against yourself, like however many are counted, that's what you get. It's actually a race against other states in a sense. Depending whoever does better on their count, there's so much money sitting there and you get a percentage of it. So let's say we do better than 38 other states because we did such a good job on our count. We will get more and more of that finances as they did not do their count correctly. Now I tell you, other states are really working hard though. So if we don't do our job, we'll find money that should have come to Nevada. We'll go to California or Oregon or wherever, go to another state that did take the time to get counted.
Right. So really important to do that. I know that I hear people say, well, I really don't want somebody coming to my door. I really don't want them knowing any of my personal information. What do we say about that?
There's a number of ways to complete the census. Traditionally, we've completed paper forms, and that option is still available. But this is the first census that will be digital, so people can go online and complete the census once they can receive their postcard with their control number. And there's also another way. People can also phone in the census information. So again, we can't stress enough how important it is to complete the census. Number of different ways, and as you mentioned, if you're not counted, there will be enumerators that will start knocking on doors come May to complete the census. So if you don't want somebody knocking on your door, write the census, phone it in, or go online.
And how much time do you think it takes to fill out the census?
They say 10 minutes. And so one of the things we're challenging businesses and to really go out, on April 1st, give each of their employees 10 minutes to go fill out the census. I mean, really make it a part of your day. If you have the ability to do so, give people the time to go do that. It might sound like it's not a big deal, like they could take their own time to do it, but it's that important that we really want to see the people step out and do that. The census, as we come back to it, it's a community thing that we're doing. There's a lot of different dates that are really crucial for people to know about.
Going to be my next question. What are some really good dates to remember?
So in the beginning of March, you should get something in the mail.
March 12th.
March 12th. Okay. So you should be looking for that if you want to just get in there and get that done. But then April 1st is Census Day. So it's the day you'll see all that stuff going on. And so please, that'd be a great day to get involved and make sure you're part of it.
I want to add, it will take about 10 minutes to complete the census. 9 short questions. And those questions are not going to ask for any personal information, any financial information. And so we want folks to know that it's a very basic, generic questionnaire, one that is completed for each individual that lives in that household.
And we've heard too that there are, which I'll be posting a little bit too, videos out there showing you what questions, how to fill it out. A lot of great information for people out there, and we'll be putting it on our social media pages. RTC will. I mean, I'm sure your personal pages and such, that we really want people to know how important this is and that we're really not getting personal information, because I think that is a big misnomer out there.
I got an email today, and this is a good example for anybody thinking like this, is they were worried about their information. And one of the things is when they do share whatever it is, it's only numbers they're going to share. Your actual information is locked down for the next 60 to 70 years.
72.
72 years. 72 years to be exact. And I can tell you, we've even seen, even the Supreme Court protects it. So it will not be touched by any means. And then the other thing, there are questions. If you're uncomfortable answering some of them, you don't have to answer every question to have the census be done, from what I have understood. So they definitely need where you live, your name, but the other stuff does help when it comes to a lot of the other stuff we're doing. So hopefully you're comfortable doing the whole thing, but we definitely need to get your name and your address and things like that.
So encouraging, definitely, specifically for the funds that could be coming into our state, and so that's very important. So really, if you can fill out the entire thing, that's probably pretty important.
Definitely. The census is safe, secure, and confidential. And as Councilman Dare mentioned, the U.S. Census Bureau does not share any of that data with any agency at the federal, state, or local level. And there are severe penalties should a U.S. Census employee share that information. Those penalties are $250,000 and 5 years in prison. So again, it's very safe, it's very secure, and most importantly, it's very confidential.
One more question I had for you. Did you look like you wanted to say something?
I just want to say something that you're not going to get asked, because this is important too, because there are some fraudulent things that could be happening right now, because people Nobody will take your information that's not a Census Bureau person, and if they're not that, like your employer should not be collecting that information for you, stuff like that. They'll never ask you for your Social Security number. They will not ask you for your bank account or anything much regarding your finances. So those kind of things are not part of it, and so you want to make sure you know that. So if people are asking that kind of stuff, you know right away that there's somebody doing something fishy. Just know that there's a lot of that. And if you have any questions, find out about it before you give out answers. So make sure that if something seems weird, it probably is. Just know that we're going to hope for the best, that there's nobody out there doing anything weird, but there might be, and if they are, personal information like that should not be shared.
There's unscrupulous individuals out there who are posing as census employees. Actual census employees will have a badge, and there will be an 800 number that you can call to confirm that a counter is coming to your door.
We're going to put the web address up there for the census where you can get a lot of other information. And I wanted to ask one more question too. There's jobs available, correct, with the census?
Definitely, we're looking for census employees right now. And when I say we, it's the U.S. Census Bureau. There are great paying jobs that if you're looking for a job, these jobs are paying $18 to $20 an hour. And so if you are looking for a job to help out with the census, just go to 2020census.gov/jobs and you can apply online to get a job with the census.
Great. Anything else that we missed that's really important?
Do we have any other dates coming up that we want to make sure people know about? I know, be looking. We do have some events coming up, some different things that we're trying to be in the community.
There's many community volunteers who are helping to bring awareness about the census to our community. So there's events throughout the community that will be taking place to do just that. And you know, a lot of times with the census, there are hard to count populations, and so there's a special emphasis placed to be at events that those hard to count populations may be at. For example, it could be Title I schools, it could be faith-based organizations. We're even looking at perhaps being out at the malls to bring that awareness to people to participate in the census.
I know the libraries have totally signed up that you can go there and they'll have a place where you can just do it online, because there's some that do not have access or different things. So that's an easy place where you can go for sure.
Thank you both so much. This information is invaluable, and I really appreciate you being here. So please fill out your census. My next guest is Nick Corona from our Sparks Fire Department. And Nick, recently we had a really cool stair climb, and I know a lot of you were going up and down the stairs at Shields. Why were you doing that?
Yeah, so it's an annual event that we do called the Firefighter Stair Climb, and what we're doing is raising money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And we've partnered with Shields over the last couple of years. They've let us come into their building and climb the stairs so we could raise money for the society.
So, and it's not just in your uniform like you're in right now. You guys have full turnouts on, full everything on. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so it's a really cool event. We're climbing about 69 stories over in Seattle, Washington in full firefighter gear, meaning turnouts,
so this
helmet.
Event is in preparation for that?
Correct.
Is that kind of,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, so we do this kind of as a dual purpose training and a fundraiser. So that way when we go to Seattle, we're a little bit conditioned, already climbing those flights of stairs in full gear on air, wearing an additional 40 to 50 pounds of weight.
And when you say on air, you're talking a full mask and the oxygen on your back?
Oh
and
yeah,
everything.
just like we're ready to go fight a fire. You know, we wear the helmet, the coat, everything, the mask, the bottle, and we start climbing stairs. And it's definitely a exhausting exercise, but this is what we do. This is why we train for it.
Right. So tell me about this year's event. I know you said you raised about $1,000. That's great.
Yeah, we actually raised over $1,000 this year, which is awesome. That just goes to show how awesome the community is in supporting our causes to help fight cancer. And it was a real cool event. We got the community to come on out and engage with us, and they were able to put on our gear and climb with us, and kids have got a chance to see the fire truck and meet firefighters and all the whole works.
Yeah, I know. I did my little part of that where I
Yeah, you
walked
did
up and down
good,
the
yeah.
stairs. But as soon as you put that oxygen on me and the mask, boy, it was totally different. Really
100%.
heavy, and I can't imagine what you guys do every day.
Yeah, it's a
That's
different
amazing.
level of conditioning,
Yeah.
and you know, it's one of the things that we try to train regularly because, You know, exercising in regular shorts and t-shirt is one thing, but wearing a coat that is designed to protect you from fire, it obviously keeps heat out, while it also keeps heat in too. So it's a different level of conditioning, but it's a good way to stay in shape.
Right. Well, I'm so glad it went so well, and it was really fun to see all the little kids over there and enjoying the event.
It was a real
too.
cool event, and we love doing it. And Shields has been so awesome in letting us come in every year. In fact, they donated $500 to our cause as well. So we really are super appreciative of everything that they've done, and we look forward to the next one.
And I know you were telling me too that this year in particular is kind of special, and you dedicated it. Can you tell me about that?
Of course, yeah. So this year we're actually climbing for one of our fallen members that succumbed to lymphoma, and it hits home because he's our brother, you know, and this just happened less than 2 weeks ago when he passed away. And so we're climbing for Marty. We're climbing for him and his family, and for all the survivors and everybody that's affected by this epidemic. So
Right, so great cause, and people still can donate, right?
yeah, absolutely. People could donate online. We actually have a Sparks Fire team page at the website llswa.org. And then in the search bar, just search for Sparks Fire or Sparks Fire Department, and our team page will come up. And you can donate on there. Every dollar counts, and 100% of the money goes to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So it's a real good cause. Every year, about 2,000 firefighters from across the nation come together for this big Seattle stair climb, and over $2 million is raised to help fight cancer and for cancer research. So it's really cool.
That's great. That's great. Thank you so much. I appreciate the information.
Absolutely.
And thanks for letting me gear up as well.
Yeah,
So that
absolutely.
was
Thanks
good.
for your support. Thanks for everything you guys are doing for us.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for watching. And again, we want to remind you that you can still donate to the Stair Climber event. You can also make sure you fill out your census. That'll be coming your way. And thanks for watching Spotlight on Sparks.